Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and please don't tease me. I know it's been a little while since I posted a video, and that's because I got busy with my real life, which I know. Don't worry, I'm back. I'm gonna try to do videos monthly, but I can't promise anything. I do want to say something very exciting about my personal life, which is that I became a USA Today best-selling author in the time I was away, but I know where my priorities are, and they're with The Sims. So anyway, I'm not here to talk about myself or news or the new UI pack or anything like that. I'm here to talk about the most challenging part of this game to me, and that's university. Now, full disclosure, I wrote the script a full 2 months ago, and today the Sims 4 team announced that high school is coming out and all these tips might actually be useless, but I'm still going to talk about them because I think they're important and I spent a lot of time researching them. Originally, this was going to be a comprehensive guide. Because I'm me and as such really competitive, I ended up trying to get great grades at university instead. For a more thorough guide, you can check out Carl's university guide, which I will link down below in the video description. Here are some things that have and haven't worked for me, and how to make sure your sim passes their classes, how to maximize their time, and if it's even worth it to go to university at all. Why get a degree? You might know that getting a degree will take a big chunk out of your sim's young adult life, and that's if you're lucky. So why would you want to do that instead of have your sim immediately get a job after high school and climb up the ranks like that? There are two main reasons: career, some money, and skills. So let me explain how it works. Each time your sim goes to class, does their homework, or writes a term paper, they slowly get more experience in particular skills. Even if your sim decides not to take a job with that particular skill set that they originally were going for, they will have learned a considerable number of skills that's going to make their lives better. How far ahead in their career your sim starts depends on two things: their grades and whether they have graduated with a distinguished degree. So this is a big question, and one I'll aim to answer with this video. Is it even worth it for your sim to get a degree? So I'm going to break down how degrees work in The Sims 4, but before that I need to talk about the universities. Britechester is a traditional university in The Sims 4. This means that it has traditional degrees like English and history. If your sim wants to study one of these but isn't skilled enough to get accepted at Britechester, they can go to Foxbury. Foxbury is the science and technology university. If your sim doesn't have qualifications to get into engineering or robotics, you can send them to Britechester. That's all you really need to know about the main difference of these two universities, except for one key and very important thing. Living in Foxbury sucks because it's hard for your sims to get anywhere, but living in Britechester can be a fun experience. If your sims are for Foxbury students, I would make them live off university in one of the lots at home, or I would even make them live in the Britechester neighborhood. Before I get into telling you how to play, let me talk to you a little bit about rotational play and why you can't do it. So I'm a rotational player, but it's important to remember that university is designed to be played, and if you're a rotational player like me, and you tend to go around different households while you play, then you should know that your sims trying to get degrees are going to suffer for it. There's no way to make sims go to school and get a degree if you're not playing with them, so if you want your sim to graduate, you're going to have to stick with them for the remainder of their degree. The only exception to this is NPCs that you haven't brought into your household yet that are already students. There are no mods, I've checked. So if you're ready for your teen or young adult sim to go to university, you can apply through the mail, through the computer, or through the phone. It's easier to do it through the computer, so do that. Every single sim will get into their degree, even if it's an undistinguished degree. It will sometimes make them sad. If they get into a distinguished degree, that'll make them happy. You don't have to sign up immediately. I recommend that you apply the moment your sim ages up or the moment your sim gets an A in school. The differences between ordinary and distinguished degrees are as follows. An ordinary degree without honors makes your sim start a career on level 6. An ordinary degree with honors makes your sim start a career around level 7. A distinguished degree with honors level 8. Salary and sign-up bonus is tied into this, as well as their holidays. So if you're trying to get your sim to the top of a career, it really is in your best interest to go for the latter option. There is a specific day of the week when your sim should enroll to university, and that's because studying sucks and is hard, and your sim is going to take a long time to finish their homework if you haven't prepared them for university. I'm going to break down how homework works, but first it's always best to sign up to university on a Friday so that your sim will have the weekend to get ahead on their homework. If you're trying to offer classes per semester, it is absolutely pivotal that you enroll on Friday because you need to maximize how many hours your sim spends studying, doing their presentations, and their homework. If you're preparing your teen sim to go to university, there is one skill you should work on maximizing: debate and research. This skill will help you considerably when it comes to how to do your homework, and it has some fun perks later on, which include convincing other sims to do your homework for you, and that's always funny. This is a very thorough explanation of how homework works in the university system. I know it's a little bit of overkill, but I wanted to be really expansive about it because I did a lot of research on what would work best and what wouldn't. So for homework with just the 3 debate and research skill level, it took my sim from 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock to almost finish her homework in the Foxbury Commons area. She stopped when she was 75% done. At the library with study spot, it took her from 7:30 p.m. to around 10 p.m. while she was socializing to be entirely done. At the library with her 3 debate and research skill and her club with the homework bonus, it took her from 10:40 to 12:40 to finish her homework. After my sim reaches debate level 6, it takes her from 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. to finish the first iteration of her presentation. I left it kind of late, so she's going to have to do a poor presentation, but that's fine. I know that's a lot of information to parse. Don't worry. Essentially, you want your sim to have the highest level of research and debate possible, so at least 6, maybe 7, because that will make them finish presentations in less than 2 hours. The essays and the term papers, they take a little bit longer, but they definitely take a lot less time when you have a high research and skill. So what you want to do is you want to get your sim to level 3, then level 7 of research and debate. The sooner the better. Otherwise, it's going to take up all their time to do their homework. Now I'm going to break down how your sim can get good grades. This won't get you the full university experience, but if what you're after is good grades and an honors degree, then I heavily advocate for living at home in one of the many neighborhoods around the Sims 4 world. It makes it way easier for your Sims to go to class on time without being distracted, and there are ways you can min-max your lot traits in order to complete homework as quickly as possible. Here's how you need to be treating your lots. There are several things you can do in order to get better grades, but the easiest one by far is to make your sim live in a tiny, tiny lot. That doubles your skill gain, which makes it better for the sim who is learning stuff at university. You need to make the lot a study spot if you want your sim to be able to finish homework quicker. Other than that, you can give your lot pretty much any traits you want. Make sure they line up to your sim's degree. So if your sim is studying something activity related, you might want to go for Great View. And if your sim is doing something programming related, you might want to go for Fast Internet. Experiment with this, but don't change study lot. If your sims need to live in a tiny lot, it's worthwhile to create an outside studying spot for them with an awning and temperature regulation if you have seasons. Why you should use clubs. So the club system is incredibly important if you want to skill, and I find that most people really underutilize them. So create a study club and make sure to use that. The easiest way to get club points is to make it so that they're encouraged to socialize with each other. That'll help you get points fast. It'll make homework a little bit slower, but it's worth it because it'll help you get points and it'll make your sim happy. You can then spend your points on the homework perk. I don't know how much more quickly that makes it go, but it definitely makes it go quicker, which brings me to my next point. There are some student societies which are worth it and some which just definitely aren't. Essentially, screw the Secret Society and the Art Society and all the other societies. If you're trying to make better grades, there are only 2 clubs worth joining. The first and best one by far is the Debate Guild. That's because it's tied into the debate skill, and the debate skill is directly tied into how quickly your sim finishes homework. If your sim joins the Debate Society, the perks include extra credit for communications, economics, language, history, psychology, and literature when they attend events. When they become a senior member of the Debate Guild, your sim will be able to give study tips, give homework help, and even ask their professors to increase their grades. The second club that your sims might want to join is the Foxbury Brainiacs. Once your sim levels up, they'll gain extra credit classes for all their classes when they attend these events, and when they become a senior member, they'll gain all mental skills faster. So get your sims to these organizations if you want to ensure that they make good grades. To join an organization, look at the organizations tab on your sims panel in the bottom right of the screen, check when events are happening, and chat with one of the members until you're able to ask them to join. You should be able to see if a sim belongs to an organization by hovering over them and by looking at the activity that they are doing. There is one more way to make sure that your sim is a good student, and that is by choosing traits that are going to contribute to this. You might be tempted to pick bookworm, but the best trade you can pick for any student, regardless of their classes or major, is actually dance machine. That's because it has this incredibly OP perk called disco nap. Your Sims will be napping a lot at university, and chances are they will be tired a lot. But if your Sim is able to have disco naps, then their energy bar will fill up from just 2 or 3 hours of rest, and this will give your Sim more time to do homework. Not only that, but having your Sim dance for an hour or 2 a day is a nice way to make sure that they're entertained even when they have a ridiculous course load. You might want to consider other traits like geek or genius if your Sim is doing something technological, or like outgoing or bro if your Sim is doing something communications related. Make your traits fit the image you have of your Sim, or if you're playing legacy style, make sure to go for something that your Sim will be good at. One of the most challenging parts of making sure your Sim is studying is that they're going to be tense a lot when they're at university, but there are some easy ways around it. When your Sim gets free earbuds, don't forget about them. Make your Sim listen to music before they do things like homework or working on their term projects. It's worthwhile to buy your Sim a football so they can kick it around with their friends or other students on their downtime, since that will help them gain fun, skill up their fitness, and make friends. Speaking of fitness, a bike is always a nice investment, especially if your Sim lives at home. Why? Because they'll always get a little bit of extra fitness skill without having to go around the campus and being turned around by the world design. Now, I know this wasn't comprehensive, but I hope it gave you some ideas on how to maximize your Sim's time at university and make sure they only get A's and B's. In the interest of full disclosure, I do want to say these didn't always work for me, but they definitely made my Sim pass instead of fail. What are your tips for getting good grades? How do you like to play university? Thank you so much for watching. If you like this, please like this video, comment below, it helps me out a lot. Once again, please don't tease me, and I'll see you next time.